Hello everyone and welcome to a different kind of video. A showcase of all 8 tribute to Italy divisions on this lovely map on Gora Calvaria. And I thought, let's go in there without HUD. Let's see stuff in action in the replay. I played with 7 bots, all the divisions are in here. As you can see here, already the first couple firing at each other. Down here in the south we have the Indians and South Africans. Here we have, with the smoke, the Liberazione, Popolo Italiano di Liberazione, and up in the north Task Force 45. On the other side, the Gebirgsjägers, together with the Italians, the Monte Rosa, then the Fallschirmjägers, and down in the south, 26 Panzer. 26 Panzer comes in here already, around the Panzer 3, that gets killed off. And yeah, a lot of action going on over here already. Half-tracks getting murdered. Here, a couple of jeeps getting killed off as well. And right here, I started a push with some L-35s and some Germans trying to get in there. Some Polish units as well. A lot of fire coming everywhere. Some Polish and Italians. These are the Italian snipers. There's a sniper rifle guy. Against some Gebirgsjägers that run around. Small little stooks on L42 chassis. Just a bad opening. In the north, Task Force 45 with its Brazilians. Right as well. Fighting against a lot of Italian forces here. Got some L40s killed already. AB-41 moving through the forest. Another Italian tank over here. The infantry is waiting for the push. The AB-41 tries to cross the open. Gets side-shotted. Loads. Meanwhile, the push over here is continuing. Some elite Polish made it into the forest, firing on their Gebirgsjägers in this building, trying to get them out of there. First air support is coming in as well. The HS-129 trying to get a cluster run onto the ground down below. And it will drop its payload. It will get it killed, but it already gets hunted at CS 205. CS 205, one of the many new Italian planes that we have, is under fire by some AA from the ground. Well, a lot of Shermans and half-tracks both sides burning, a lot of Italian tanks getting killed off over here as well. And as you can see, it's a big battleground. A lot of burning wrecks everywhere. Over here, the South Africans are on the push, deep into the enemy lines. Killed a couple of AB-41s. Got one of the Blitzers destroyed. But the Shermans are on the march for the push, trying to win this game early. South Africans going deep behind enemy lines. With the 2 Shermans over here, pushing into the enemy rear. And the new beautiful markings on them are going on as well. Well, the Germans over here are finding the Indians and the South Africans. A lot of Assad's troops trying to hold the line. And as you can see, quite a lot of German stuff got destroyed here, and Italian stuff. L-35, Panzer III burning. Another Panzer III, no, another M42 stuck. Going up in flames, more of them here. Half track. Germans on the run. Getting pushed back. South Africans and the Indians pushing heavily over there. Mortar fire now trying to stop the push, but the two Shermans still pushing into the forest. Killing off a couple of Fallschirmjägers over here. The artillery piece continues its fire. But yeah, as you can see, the Indians are really decentralized as well by now. Coming all the way from over here. Getting pushed back a bit as well though. Losing one Sherman here in the fight as well. And yeah, the battlefield is full of smoke. Full of burning tank wreckage. Just push over here. Got kind of stopped by the cluster. More infantry and more Shermans tried to continue it though. Italian trucks bring in new reinforcements. Polish and Italian infantry joining the fight. Seven men Italian spots here, 10 point only. These guys have a bit of a weird way of driving. We'll run to get out here. Well, these try to push through the forest. Through the grass. Try to get the flag that is over there. But they are under mortar fire already. German continues to give fire support against some Großjägers around here. More coming in though from the rear. Großjäger, really good infantry. Really good infantry. 1 MG42, 5 G43s and 4 MP40s for 20 points. Good firepower on all ranges. Good firepower on all ranges. Meanwhile, over here, the Germans tried to counterattack, tried to achieve a breakthrough, so the Italians have to help out, trying to hold it, but they didn't see the lurker in the shadows, the elephant, holding the line, sniping one after another, and being a complete pain in the ass for the Corporal Italiano and for the South Africans. So yeah, the Italians chopped smoke, tried to disengage after they lost one transport to the elephant. Elephant though continues firing upon them, but they have to get out even further. Over here, they radio it to the mortars. Will give them fire support, trying to get the elephant out of its position. Elephant over here now gets hit hard by mortar fire. The infantry around it as well. And more South African and Italian forces are on the way to try to get them out of there. Meanwhile, more planes in the skies. More Italian G55, I think this is. Might be wrong though. Be a C205 as well? No, I'm pretty sure it's a G55. Push over here continues. Sherman is trying to break through together with Italian infantry. All the Shermans trying to give them fire support. Meanwhile, the Italians over here try to achieve a breakthrough. But there's quite a lot of Task Force 45 in the forests over here, including new 90mm AAPs. Absolute beast of a weapon. Really, like one of the biggest guns we have in the game now. For example, like the German one only is an 88, right? So yeah, 90mm, 2mm, even more than that. As you can see, this is also just a colossal weapon. So it can murder anything on the open. Any tank can be murdered off by this one. Meanwhile, Bofors tries to disengage here. That's another one of these beasts. Sits in the forest right here, trying to hold the line. Getting led down the road. Over here, Italians on the push. Get killed off next to a Sherman wreckage. That's the L-35s. Go arse back here. Disengaging, realizing that this push is going nowhere. Well, mortar fire over here continues, and artillery support got the best of the Elephant. Elephant got killed off, and the road is free now for the Italians and the South Africans to push again. And they try to do so. South Africans in halfbacks on the way, followed up by some Shermans. Trying to get down the road, though they will try to buy quite a lot of their fallen comrades. Got killed off here earlier. Let's see if they can revenge them. Where this little halfback will go. Driving by. Driving by some destroyed Italian tanks. How far will they make it? Where will they stop? Skewered? Oh no, Sherman pulled up over there. And here they go. Unloading. Off track. Good position on top. It's giving fire support as the infantry tries to get over to the buildings. Has to wait. Now, stack out got pulled off here earlier. Getting over the road. But on the other side, there's a little Italian tank and a little infantry. Trying to get the better of them. And way worse than that, every War Thunder player knows them. AB-42 doing pretty well. Absolute beast of a unit. But this one gets pulled off by some Stuarts. Stuarts on the push. Polish cavalry has arrived. Trying to help out on the front line. Cavalry over here gives fire support as well. More and more units arrive on the front line. Tried to hold the line, tried to get the flags over here. Meanwhile, push of the Shermans right here got stopped. Italians have to wait on for now. They also realized that they have to hold on over here now. They brought in a lot of their forces for an assault. A lot of L-35s, both the Flame and the normal double MG version. A couple of Stuarts were called upon as well, as they thought they would need tank support, but the call was to attack now, and that they do. The infantry got shredded in their transports already, but that would not stop them from attacking. On the other side, the fascist Italians, the Mussolini loyalists, gave them really heavy meltdown. A lot of 20mm fire coming down the road. That would not make these proud Italians stop moving for the freedom of their country. A lot of L-35s rushing over the open. A lot of 20mm fire gets one after another. Still, they don't yield. They continue moving. And they make it. Make it to the town. Stuarts finally arrived to the scene. A bit too late, but at least the Shermans on the other side of the river realized the situation and gave its fire support, together with some incoming artillery. deal with the AB-42s and the 20 months. But the fascists already realized that there would be more forces here as well. Got some AB-42 position. Screws the Germans though. Superior weapons. They can kill there. More artillery fire is raining down on the town. This overall frontline has shifted. The deep push over here got pushed back. Germans and Italians take over the territory here again. As the last couple of remnants of the South Africans get pushed out of here. With the tank support getting demolished, the only way for them is to run. Yet Gunner tries to protect his guys. The only one that still is up to face the enemy. And gets the kill. What a man. What a shot. Meanwhile though, another armored vehicle. Panzer IV is on the battlefield now. With Italian paintings. Italian campaign paintings. From the 26th Panzer. And a lot of German armored support got called in over the last couple of minutes to stop the South Africans and Indians from achieving a breakthrough. Panzer IV is in range now. Here's Canada. Right, yes. Get Canada. Gets me down. No Panzer IV. Join the fray. It's completely demolished. Over to the right. The Indians still try to hold the captured territories, try to hold the forests over here. But there's more and more Germans coming their way. We move to the towns. Trying to get further to the front line. South tracks all of Indian, British and South African forces arrive to desperately hold the captured territory, to not have their pushes in vain. More South Africans further to the south join the Italians. They are trying to push over here, but there's German Gebirgsjägers on the march. Some even equipped with MG44s in the forest. And these are an absolute beast of a unit. The Italians on the other side will try to get in there. They've been around the flamethrowers, but the question is, can they make the short run over the open, or will they be pinned down before they can get there? They would need mortar support. They asked for mortar support, but will they get it? A lot is lost in the lines of communication, and the mortars seem to be occupied helping out the push into the town. Yet the side push got into the town at first, but the Italians, the Italians did hold the line, supported by a couple of Gebirgsjägers as well. They now try to secure the trenches. Artillery fire coming in from the rear. And it burns everywhere. Planes crashing down. More planes getting killed off over here. As the CO, the C-205 gets another aerial victory. But the Luftwaffe is active. Major aeronautical A lot of 20 millimeters got called in. And these 20 millimeters, especially the gunners of these 20 millimeters, are absolute veterans. 3-star veterans. And they demolish anything coming close by. Even tanks can get shredded by them, as they have also AP shells. Well, mortar fire tries to help out over here. More infantry gets called upon. Trying to hold the front line. Is down here. The Italian Monte Rosa division in Task Force 45. They'll have a heavy fight for this territory. With the 90 millimeters still being the most important tool in the arsenal, all the Italians off that desperately tried to get into the front line over here, trying to capture some territories for themselves. The first Miseis arrive on the battlefield. Miseis and Brazilians trying to get the territory back that they lost in earlier parts of the battle. Germans on their way to the bridges. They know once they're on the bridge, they are easy prey. Try to soften up the side and they'll get a chance to work before they get there. There's a lot of land flying down the road. And beyond the bridge, together with some Italian tanks, getting blown into bits. Smoke gets called upon over here by the Germans. They really want to keep South Africans and the Popolo Italiano out of their town. Further in the south, table has turned. Now it's the Indians on the run. 26 Panzer finally got the support it needed, and it really is on the push now. Units over here. Here's the tank. Can't even see it. Yeah, earlier Panzer 3s got shredded, but the bigger arsenal is now on the way to the front line. Panthers, Tigers, Panzer 4s, and they are hard to beat for the South Africans and the Indians. They're not super hard to beat, as you can see. A lot of Panzer 3s and Panzer 4s getting killed off here, but so did quite a couple of Shermans here as well. Okay, Panzer 3s going down over here. More Shermans got shredded over here. Crusader AA coming in. Canadian symbol on the side. Not sure if these are actually Canadians. They might be. Well, we have another Sherman over here coming in. Where is he? Yeah, this is the one. This is a Sherman 2A. And that's basically similar to the it's a Sherman with 76mm, 90mm frontal armor only, but 130 penetration on the gun. So it is quite a deadly Sherman, but also kind of a class cannon when it comes to shooting Shermans. Meanwhile, more air fights going on over here. The 20mm really getting up. Would just pull together with some more 205s, killing quite a lot of planes in the sky. Another plane coming in over here. Getting hit down by the AA. And also gets killed off. Falling down in flames over the ground. Loading on the battlefield. Well, a lot of artillery flying everywhere, trying to keep the Italians and the South Africans down. They try to go through the forest. Germans helping out against the Gebirgsjäger. They are just really heavily entrenched in this forest. They don't want to give a millimeter of ground to the Italians. falling over. And Bantams arrive now on the front line. Everyone who played Normandy knows these are quite good vehicles. 50 cal on top of a slightly armored vehicle means they are protected against small arms fire, and the 50 cal is with a pretty good machine gun. Not just in Normandy, but also in Italy and on the Eastern Front. Well, Fallschirmjägers push back Italian forces at the town over here. Italians and South Africans desperately trying to get the town, not quite managing to do so as more and more Fallschirm and Bergsäger arrive to hold the town. And in the south, the counter push is on the way. A lot of infantry is still arriving for the Indians over here. But Tigers are on the road, supported by quite a couple of Italian vehicles. They are tough to stop. Firing onto a 17-pounder over here, which might be able to stop them for now. It doesn't quite look so. Tigers collected. Still throwing lead down the road. 17-pounder is getting hit hard. Quickly for it. The rounds are not quite hitting yet. But yeah, this one was a tough one. They are not quite sure what to do, it seems like. He lost line of sight. That was it. That was 17-pounder. 17-pounder to eliminate. And without the 17-pounder, the road is open for the Tigers and Panthers. Push through. Another Tiger comes in over here. Pushes on. South African and Indian forces desperately trying to hold on. 17-pounder is getting called upon. German Firefly is getting called upon. But they all need to arrive first. And another really helpful tool would be air support. But for some reason, the Royal Air Force is quite silent today. Not quite a lot of planes coming in just yet for them. Luftwaffe way more active. Feels like they kind of have local air superiority. Only the Italian fighters trying to intercept them. The free Italian fighters. But a couple of Fokker Wolves are in the air as well. Fighter bomber. Duty. This one though, it seems like it didn't find the target, so it tries to get out again. Over here, Task Force 45. Finally it is on the counterattack. Unlike its brethren further north, Task Force 45 was able to break the Italians somewhat. It's now trying to get in here, but the Italians threw everything they had left onto the front line. And they got some support from 26 Panther. Panther to drive on the front line, together with some more small tanks. The Panther might be able to hold the line for now. Say MGs don't yield at all. They fight till the last man, but that they did. Going down over here. Well, we have some fighters in the air. Yeah. Sorry, that was fighters. They just had the G1 down. Now being under heavy AA fighter. Over here, HS-129 is getting out after killing another Italian, Polish Sherman. Trying to support the Italian push over here. Italians help out Task Force, Polish help out Task Force 41. Chief. break through into this village, but are now stopped on the edge of the forest. More and more JO-87s, cannonballs coming in, destroying the ground. Well, the first Su-74s, F-79s, first Italian 3 engine bombers have arrived for the 3 Italians, getting the bombs onto the ground. SM-79, right? Pretty sure that's the right one. Right designation. And they have a lot of payload in their belly. 2 500 kilogram bombs and 6 100 kilogram bombs. So they leave quite a big crater. And there is four of them in support. And they will be coming in non-stop from now on out. Pilots will work to full exhaustion to try to help out that units on the ground, trying to achieve a major victory on this battleground. But the 26th Panzer now brings everything to the front line. A lot of infantry out by Italian infantry here on the ground. Tiger, a lot of Italian tanks, and also another Wakanda vehicle, an 88mm truck that can both shoot head-down targets and air targets, and is an absolute menace. And we got pulled up over here, so you can see the Indians haven't given up the fight just yet, still fighting back, but the overwhelming force of the Germans is coming for them. 88mm will try to keep the skies clean and also hold this road. And this is the road that is already leading to the spawn. So an 88mm down the road is a little dangerous. Especially when there's also a tiger in front of it. A lot of you can see Indian infantry desperately trying to get away. Not quite able to do so. As over here, reinforcements get ambushed on the road, get killed off. MG's trying desperately to get into position, trying to get a defensive position set up. Units over here, trying to get into this forest. Getting out of the way of the 88. Air support coming in. Hurricane with 40mm AP cannons trying to come in, but as you can see, that's the power of the 88 truck. Keeping it away, keeping it from engaging, forcing it back before it can get a single round off. And that gives the Tigers and Panthers on the ground free rein. Panther now follows up the Tiger. So 3 heavy pieces here on the way to the spawn of the Indians. They need to be stopped. In the north and in the south, push of Task Force 45 is not getting anywhere. The Italians are stopped over here as well. More forces coming in here. They're trying to break through. Getting supported by some of the South Africans with their Sherman 2As. 76mm. But a lot of artillery is flying their way. The sky is clean. Over here, the Bergsäger still control these buildings. The Italians having settled on holding this territory for now. As they focus their pushes over here and over here now. And here we have quite a lot of M42s with 75mm. Fighting against the Germans on the other side. deckhounds. Polish deckhounds joining in to support the Italians. They do quite a good job here. Around dragging the elephant. A couple of tricycles have arrived. Italian recon vehicles with the Brella on top. And they can give quite a lot of fire support as well. 10-point unit with radio. Couple of L30 buses are in the fray as well. Turning over with their cannons. There we go. Yeah. 35 with 20mm. As you can see, yeah, this is really just a tank. The size difference for Sherman there is just absolutely enormous. That's not really a tank. Meanwhile, over here, the Air Force finally arrives. Both fighters getting a kill onto a Tiger and the Panther, but the 88mm truck is still around, and so are these small little cousin tanks. Bombs on top of them though. Everything is getting called in to try to stop this push. A couple of Shermans will arrive relatively soon as well, together with some Wolverines. But for now the Indians have to hold the line on their own. Yeah, here we go. Some Polish Shermans arriving on the front line, trying to push back the Germans. 26 Panzer on its breakthrough. Bullfighter in the air with some AT rockets. Might be one of the MVPs of this battle. It killed quite a lot of vehicles and also got into the fight, killing off some planes. Using its heavy 20mm frontal armor to kill off a couple of German bombers. Meanwhile, the South Africans have found combined arms again as well, trying to push onto the town. As you can see, a couple of Shermans followed up by some Grand Carriers, followed up by some infantry. Combined arms push. It's a town only nearly completely in ruins. Only built by a couple of Fallschirmjägers. They will try to hold this down. Grand Carriers coming around. Not too I would say this one is too close, isn't it? Well, that's about first miss, but now it got the hit. And there goes the Grand Carrier. There's one more infantry who's closing in on the Fallschirmjägers. As you can see, they don't have to push easily. A lot of tricycles, a lot of Germans getting pulled off them over here already, but they keep on coming because they got their task to do, and they will not stop before this village will be in Allied hands at the end of the day. They are moving in over here. The Italians feel like they're safe, so they focus their attention over here, which leads to the Gebirgsjäger, who slowly but surely creep on closer, one building at a time. All of these buildings by now in the hand of the Gebirgsjägers. If only over here, the Italians being left with a couple of mortars. Their command tank over here, L35, with a big antenna. And there's a battery over here. But they feel that a bit too safe. Gebirgsjägers preparing for a push, getting new orders to seize that town. And they will also get a couple of support units soon as well. The Gebirgshaubitzen and the mortars were here doing their best to stop the push on the other side of the river. The Allied push. Gebirgshaubitze overall, one of the best artillery pieces in the German arsenal. retreating now to the rear. As the sun starts to set on this battle. Smoke in the town. Italians and Germans still trying to hold the line. Mocking off the territory. Some even going into a camp. Yeah, these days in the town as well. These days in Brazilians will do their best dealing with these Alpinis. Meanwhile over here, Sunmore needs to prepare himself. We say that Brazilians prepare himself for a final push on the other forest. As you can see, most of the Italian armor by now got shredded by heavy 90mm anti-tank fire and some German support. Panther that we saw earlier got killed off here as well. And the push in the north gets slowly but surely pushed back by the finally arriving Royal Air Force. Big fires in the air, killing off the last remnants of the Luftwaffe. Spitfire over here, turning back home. Well, both fighters around again. 88mm truck being the last bastion that the Germans form around after losing 2 Panthers here already, losing another Tiger. We're over here. Yeah, Tiger over here. They're running out of heavy tanks, but the 88mm is holding the line. And the second 88mm is coming in to support it. Trying to hold the road. Whilst on the other side, Italians and Poles get called on upon. Stackhounds arriving on the front line. Trying to finally dislodge the Germans. The Hussars have arrived. But the 88 on the road is still closed. So they have to be careful. They want to make it through. Especially as there are still some elite German units holding out here as well. Push over here of the Germans got stopped as well. Panzer Force getting killed off by the Royal Air Force and South African and Indian anti-tank fire. Meanwhile, over here, the town is finally in the hands of the Italians and South Africans. Continue their push through. Germans going deep into enemy lines, trying to achieve more success in this task. But the armor might get a bit too far ahead of its infantry. More infantry support is on the way. Tricycles try to get the scouts in. And heavy bombers coming in as well. Royal Air Force really does its job now. Well, some Axis, some German Luftwaffe SM-47, 79, 47, yeah, right, yeah, 79, at the same time as some of the Allied ones, and dropping their payload. The Allied ones haven't developed also. As you can see, a lot of that flying all around in the skies. Fighter trying to hunt it down, but this bird is tough to kill. Will make it home. Heavily smoking. Its engine is close to dying, but these guys will not let their ground forces down. They will not give up until Italy is liberated. As you can see, the Berserkers now here on the march, bringing Panzer trucks around, getting ever closer to the front line. A lot of buildings destroyed. And half-tracks over here, moving around. And these guys, more and more bombers of the Royal Air Force. And it's Allied battalions coming in time and again, trying to bomb the ground forces of the Axis into oblivion. That's the last couple heavy tanks are called upon. Another Panther arriving, trying to take the place of the 88 truck that finally got eliminated. But it doesn't have much infantry in front of it anymore. And the stack hounds try to go through the forest more and more. Wolverine getting called upon as well. We'll try to ambush the Panther soon. As in the skies, another plane gets shot down by Allied AA. And the Beaufighters doing their job again. Trying to find a target. As you can see, getting an HS killed there. 20 millimeters. Really only taking a second or so on target. Completely annihilated. Meanwhile, the Gebirgsjägers going for a final assault. As they keep on pounding artillery to this position, and they're getting ever closer. A lot of Gebirgsjägers now getting into this forest, moving in over here, and the Italians are oblivious for now of what's up to come for them. So they get greeted by German G43s and MP40s. And they desperately call out for help. A couple of their 20mm AA pieces already got by AA. More can't find over here. Oh, where are they? They tried to hide. So they are here. Yes, yeah, the sky is burning. So many planes getting shut down on both sides. But the Royal Air Force is coming out on top. Spitfires finally arriving in numbers, winning a lot of the air duels. There you can see the extra veterancy on these pilots compared to the relatively fresh Axis pilots. And more bombers coming through as well. As artillery silenced most of the German AA by now. Getting rid of the flag alley that we saw earlier. These guys can go on really deep missions for the enemy hinterland. Dropping some bombs there. On the ground. Italians, we say, still a big rule, but there's a lot of artillery shells flying over the horizon. Planes coming in for the Allies. And the Poles and Italians finally helping out the 8th Indian in achieving breakthrough in the north once more, getting the territory back that we already captured earlier. As the Germans completely run out of tanks. As you can see, only half-tracks getting called upon. Tanks are really rare sight on the Axis side by now. We're a bit too aggressive with them. Lost a couple too many Panthers and Tigers. And the Shermans being able to deal with most of the other armored support. All the old Italian tanks allowed the South Africans and Italians also to capture this territory over here. Artillery of the Germans though, still quite capable. But also that is under fire by now. Mortars over here, just getting eliminated. Well, over here, a couple of bigger guns still standing. As there's come onto the road. Yeah, more heavy artillery guns coming in. But the front line is scrambling for the Germans. Half-tracks desperately trying to take the place of tanks. It's on the other side. Stackhounds and Italian infantry is on the way to final break, supported by German over here. Stackhound getting cut off by one of the last bomb moves on the Axis side. Let's say finally break the resistance of the Germans over here. Attack 40 over here, getting silenced. Panther got killed off by now as well. And this absolute bloodbath of a battle is going into its final chapter, as the Allies have achieved superiority on all parts of the front. Even over here, they finally start to stop the Großjäger's push and go in for the final counterattack, falling upon Italian reserves. And artillery, who completely silence all the MG42s that were over here. As you can see, only really light support is rolling in for the Gebirgsjägers. Only one truck coming down the road. Everything else has been destroyed. They are fully running out of forces. More and more bombers coming in. Yeah, it seems to be finito benito. A really lovely design by Eugen here. And there we go. GGVP, 52 minutes on Gora Calvaria. I hope you liked that cinematic approach. And as you can see, the Italians did a bloodbath, but everyone here dished out damage. Everyone took quite a bit of damage. Especially the Fallschirmjägers, doing a lot of work in both directions. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. I hope the frame rates were not too atrocious. And yeah, see you all in the next one.